All right, bowlers, welcome to the 2021 Bradley Open. Before I kick off with the rest of the announcements, just a reminder, masks are mandatory. They must be worn at all times in the facility. This does incorporate while you're bowling. We're going to take a moment and go ahead and thank all of our sponsors this year, starting with Motive. We also have Cubica AMF, CTD, Creating the Difference, H5G, the 7-Leaf CBD, Freeman HVAC, and the Just Be team. Without these sponsors, this event would not be possible. This year, we have an estimated field of 180 bowlers. We have 6 of our past champions participating this year, with 5 bowling on this squad. At this time, we're going to take a moment to recognize those past champions. Starting with returning champion, 2020 champion, Kim Bowlby. 2019 champion, Wes Malott. 2017 champion, Justin Knowles. 2014 champion, Tommy Jones. And 2013 champion, Tony Lambert.
I thought Lambert won this more than once. That's what I thought.
Bowlers, this year we are taking entries until 11:30 a.m. If any spots are still available, the prize fund will be posted at the front desk no later than 8 p.m. this evening. 1 out of 5 bowlers will cash. There are optional brackets and jackpots available during Squad A and B and the Advancer Squad this evening. If you have not entered brackets or gotten into the pot, please do so before the first official ball is thrown. Bowlers, this is round 1, Squad A. You will bowl 5 games, skipping pairs. Please make sure you pay attention to your score sheets. They will tell you where you are going. And make sure you follow the arrows at the start of each game. Bowlers, once you complete each game, make sure you place your score sheet into the baskets that are located on the back tables. They are red and blue. Find the one that is closest to you so score runners can come through and collect your scores. At the end of the squad, once you are done with Game 5, make sure you turn your recap sheets in to the tournament office, please. Your goal for this squad is to make the cut to the advancers round this evening. The top 50, based on your 5-game total, will advance. If there is a tie for 50th place, or for the alternate, there will be a 1-game roll-off immediately following A squad. Last year, the cut on A squad was -117, and the B squad cut was -134. We ask that you extend your courtesy to no more than 2 lanes on either side. 1 lane courtesy is acceptable. We ask all spectators to please stay on the concourse. The bowlers area is reserved for our participants and tournament officials only. Remember, we will have a re-entry squad immediately following B squad. Bowlers, you will have 10 minutes of practice, and as soon as that is done, you will be able to hit your check marks and go into tournament play. Pin spotters are on a slight delay, so please wait for your lanes to come on before you throw your first ball. Good luck and good bowling. jackpots, all the side pots are available down in the tournament office. You must get into them before you throw your first ball of actual match play.
And it is good morning. It's time to get things going here. 2021 Bradley Open A squad qualifying. Craig Elliott Bowlstream TV will be here all day on the call, bringing the action. 5 games on A squad, 5 games on B squad. Desperado and the Advancers are on tonight, and tomorrow we start the road to the championship on Super Bowl Sunday. So we've got 4 on 5 a pair for this 5-game block. A lot of very familiar PBA Tour players you'll see come across your screen today. But starting out, we've got Daniel Farish, a local guy, and some other players from this area on our 2 feature pairs, 35, 6, 7, and 8. So find your favorite player, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Good morning, Kenny Seymour. Good morning, Younger Barry, and everybody else up with us bright and early on this Saturday morning, the 6th of February. Yes, the 6th of February is what my phone says, so that's what I'm going with. Long night last night, saw a pretty impressive championship game in the doubles. Swanson and Wilson took down Burks and Holiday. But now this is what everybody came for. Bradley Open. Always high volume pattern. You're going to see a lot of surface. And shots like that right there that, you know, look it off the hand and did absolutely nothing but go 60 feet straight to the back of the pin deck. Yeah, Chris Prather on this squad, Kyle Bigelow, Tony Lambert, former champion, Michael Holloman, Greg Young, Cameron Doyle, Tommy Jones, Charlie Brown, Sean Rash, and a bunch of others you'll see come across your screen here this morning. I'm guessing some players didn't even leave here last night because we didn't get done till like 1:30. And it's breakfast time, so give me a minute to enjoy this wonderful breakfast sandwich here at Executive Strike and Spare as you go out and appreciate all our sponsors. Motive, High Five Gear, creating the difference, and the 7 Leaf. Back in a second.
fifth? There's only 4 of us, isn't there? Jacob. Oh, Jacob. I was like, I know we practiced with somebody else. I thought we did.
Be quite the anomaly there. 4 of the 5 players on that pair strike the first ball. But just wait. That'll change. Anthony Simonson down on the low end of the house, starting his day off here this morning bright and early. Don't ever count him out, no matter what we're bowling, where or when. Jacob Uzel on 37 made it into the semifinals last night of the doubles event. Pattern's not announced. It's a house-made pattern. A lot of volume. As you can see, the ball just not hooking a whole heck of a lot early. Premium on shot making and spares. So we go by last year's numbers. You average 180 or higher, you're going to make it to the next round. Think about that for a minute. Strength of this field, still only have to average 180. And then, of course, there's the Wes Malott factor. He's going to come in and shoot a couple 300s like he has, you know, last couple years. Shot one yesterday in the doubles, game 1. He had 3 in the main event 2 years ago when he won it. Looks like we might see him game 2, depending on what the skip procedure is. I wasn't paying attention. That's not fair. Jeez. Make a pretty high quality shot and you get just 9. Oh, first shot in there right lane for Dan. I left the 1-2-8. Now at least 3/4 bucket. So he's going to have to tighten things up on lane 38. You know, I'm not sure if Liz is bowling. Have not seen the full rosters or heard if she's in town. She wasn't here for the doubles last night. It doesn't mean she's not bowling today. So wait and see. And you see on lane 36 what we were just talking about. You make a good shot. You got to make 2 good shots. You got to make your spares. 180 average spares are huge in this tournament. Hey, good morning, Billy Connor. How you doing? You know, you're going to be watching all day. You're going to keep me on my toes. You'll see what I miss. All right, we're in the 3rd frame, and as far as I can see, nobody's got the front 3. I can see almost half the house. So this is an event where you can get brackets, and if you shoot 200 every game, you're making money. My man V squared, Big Victor, how you doing? Why aren't you down here bowling? Don't tell me work, family, all those lame excuses. All right, those aren't too bad excuses. Whole ball as well for you guys up in Ohio. That's the nicest thing I can say about you Ohio guys. You know it. I got my Michigan mask on. Go blue. That ball's good. I thought for a minute that was going to hook, but then I remember where we're at. It's not going to hook. And you Ohio guys everywhere. Michael Haggett woke up from his early morning nap already. Now Jody Boyd's tapped me on the shoulder. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Jason's score is going to be way lower today. We saw some pretty good numbers last night in the doubles. Courtney Burks averaged like 270 for his qualifying rounds in the singles and doubles yesterday. And it's not going to happen today. There's Michael Holloman. What's he got going? Strike, spare, double. We got to curve a little bit. Throw half the rag of that 6-pin and it's not going anywhere. Ball will be right back. Oh, Kyle Bigelow, left side of your screen. Yeah, that's how the scoreboards are here. Unfortunately, you can't see the whole, like left side, if you're talking ABC. The monitor's just off a little bit, and you can't see the whole thing, but we got scores. Yeah, Prather's sitting at 107 in the 7th with a double. Michael Holloman's got a solid game going on, 39 and 40. Strike spare 4-bagger. But he's way up in the approach, really throwing it slow and hitting the snot out of it. Fortunate to leave just a 5-pin makeable spare. Now look how far up in the approach Michael Holloman is. 4 steps from about 4 feet. The impressive thing about that is he can still get a pretty good amount of hand on the ball. You only need 5 pins. Texas is great, Mike. Thanks for asking. Any day you wake up and see the sunshine is a good day. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, so we're just happy to be here as all the players are in the building competing here at the Bradley. As Jason Ushwal, tournament director, mentioned last night, you get some semblance of order or normalcy. Being back in a bowling center with your friends, your peers, you know, it's been a while for a lot of these people to be able to do this, so good deal. And that's the reaction you see a lot, the sarcastic giggle. Make it. If you're going to leave it, make it. Holloman, right side of your screen on a six-bagger. Make it 7 going in the 9th frame.
Live.
And Holloman big for his first ball in the 10th. It's still a solid ball game. That's enough to pretty much put him in the number. He can average $160 the rest of the squad and still be good. Holloman 242 with a 7-bagger. That's the highest game. That's the only game over 200 that we can see so far. We got Wes Mlock coming in here, game 2 on 37 and 38. Hey, we got a 200 game. 2-0-0 on the nose. Haven't seen Justin Owens this morning. He might be on B squad, but doesn't mean he is, because I haven't seen half the field yet. I'm sitting behind 35, 6, 7, 8 here in this 52 lane center. And I haven't walked down past lane 25 yet this morning. But I'm going to sit right here and see who comes across our cameras. Pretty solid ball game for Daniel. 194, just that one split. Make your spare, stay clean, stay out of trouble. You don't need big numbers now. You just need to be in top 50 of this field to make it to the next round. And that's where scores are a little more important as far as seeding goes. We'll have 108 players in the advancers round tonight, and 40 make it to the next round. So format again, A squad right now, B squad at 12:30, no re-oil. 2-game Desperado squad. Immediately following that, and then we'll re-oil the whole center. And come back for the advancers round tonight, which I believe is 6 games. And those pins carry over. Yeah, 6 games for the advancers round tonight.
Bunch of freaking spare shoot. Yeah, it's not a spike fest like it was last year. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, you got it.
There we got West Malot's crew coming to 37-38, waiting for the last group to finish up and get their equipment down here to 35 and 36. They're still in the 10th frame. To our far left, we've got Tommy Jones, Sean Rash, Matt Sanders, Joe Bailey. Tim Mack on a pair here. Good morning, Andrew Phillips from Australia. Tell you that, excuse me. Tim used to have, well, he still's got a pretty impressive physical game, but in his heyday had one of the most impressive physical games in the history of the sport of bowling. This is no question. Battled some injuries through the years, back competing over the last year. I mean, one good positive from COVID is we're seeing Timmy Mack back on the lanes. Backswing is about 3 foot lower than what he used to be, but look at that. I think you do it. Missed it just a little bit at the bottom of flat tens. Ronnie Sparks. And a host of others here on 35 and 6 into game 2. Yes, game 2. How about I change that graphic? Make it say game 2. That would be good. There we go. Now it's officially game 2. 5-game qualifier here on A squad on the fresh. And there's Wes on cue getting his strikes in here in Louisville. Run 3. No idea what that ball is for Mr. Malat. Can't quite make it out from here. Just a bit to the left. Simonson's on 29 and 30. So I think that means we'll get him here next game. He's on the same pair as Mike Wolf. I think Anthony started this game 9 miss, 7-bagger. Hall of Fame carry right there. 5-7-10. I'll go last. Good morning, Jerry Nichols. Hey, you're welcome, Robert. It's good to be out back behind the mic. Feels like the whole center needs some caffeine, though. I think I do. You know you hit your mark. Just take a seat, Tim Mack.
take it and run.
Pretty solid shot for Big West. And the complete opposite reaction on the last shot in that lane. Tim turned around on both, but the first one he knew was dead flush. That one he knew was, yeah, not so good. Makeable spare. Simonson open 7-bagger, spare sheet. That's close. Game 2 of 5 here on A Squad at the Bradley Open. Far left of your screen, 4-10 slides in, or 4-pin slides in front of the 10. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, Walker, everybody, you know, unfortunately thinks the ball's not hooking, move right, try to throw it straight off the corner. But if you watch the players that are scoring, they're staying in the middle lane, trying to keep that pocket in play. It seems to make a little more sense. The ball is just not going to hook. So don't try to make it. Look at where Tim and West are at. They're in the middle of the lane. They're not messing around with outside. You see the guys outside, the ball goes 60 feet or it hooks off your hand and goes left, and, you know, it's just ugly. So if you got guys on your pair shooting 200s, watch what they're doing. It's usually a safe thing to do. West had 163 game 1. He's going to be almost 100 better than that, possibly here game 2. And you see the left of your screen. That's the Bradley Open. You get pins with both shots, but there's still 5 pins standing when you're done. 3-2. Wow, that's rough. That's the Bradley. Summed up in one frame.
48. Yeah, I mean, it picked up, so that, but it's got that pressure surface on it. Right, right.
Thank you, brother.
45.
Where we go now? Thank you, sir.
We got nobody on 37-38 yet. They're still finishing up. But we do have scores. Game 1, Simonson 269. He shot 258. Game 2. I'm going to say he's our leader. Brett Shepard 255. Ricky Fuller 245. Holloman 242. Sean Rash 234. Drew Spencer 224. Tommy Jones 221. Novak 220. Robert Atkinson 220. Brad Painter 214. So 20, let's see, where'd the number go? 25 players out of the 89 on this squad shot 200 or better. Low game 106. Good morning, Gabriel, and everybody else out there. We're coming to the end of game 2. That means game 3 is next. And Simonson skipped right over our camera pairs. Bounced it. Nope. All right, Chris Smith, New York representing. I like it. Power of the internet. We can watch from just about anywhere in the world. Well, if you have an internet connection, you can watch. And it's time for game 3. That's what usually comes after 2. Fresh faces here on 37-8. Charlie Brown. Simonson is bowling normal right-handed. Got 5:20 after 2. I like his chances. So let's watch that. How many players aren't going to have? I think Simonson's at 5:28. How many players won't have 5:28 for 3? Let's watch that number. Fun at the Bradley. I do have an update in the standings. Cameron Doyle shot 264 game 1. So we just had the last group finish game 2, so it'll be a few minutes before we get those standings. 4 and 5 a pair. We got a few pairs throughout the house that are not in use, so skipping a little bit different. What else we got here? We got Nick Pate, Brent Boho, Ricky Fuller to the left, Gene Perez to the left. Simonson's 2 teens this game. So he's going to be 745. For his first 3, that's a pretty solid start. Michael Savage, I would check the Bradley Open Facebook page. I believe they're going to get them posted there once everybody gets caught up. Tournament office is a little busy now. You still got people signed up for next squad, and they're getting things situated down there. But I heard that's where they're going to be. So when they bring me sheets, I'll share the info with you. Later after 2, Simo plus 126. And he just shot 217, so that would give him 743 out of the gate. And last spot, minus 45. Sorry, I just looked up and saw Nick Pates leave there. Okay. How about that start? 7-1, 7-2, 7-0, 4 something. Saw Ronnie Sparks last night and earlier today. Solid physical game. Here's another really good physical game. Mitch Hoope. There's a better shot, Nick Pate. In game 2, we know Simon's our leader. Cameron Doyle at 4:59 is second. Brett Shepard, Michael Holloman, Wes Malott, Drew Spencer. Top 6. Scott Matthews jumps up in there. Ricky Fuller, Chris Prather, Robert Atkinson. Your top 10 at 4:23. Went from 25 players averaging 200 or better to 16. Top 50 make it. So that number right now, AJ Rice, 355. Working our way through game 3 here, A squad at the Bradley. We're starting to see some typical Bradley scores and leaves. And joining us for a while, fresh off his second TV show, Kevin Williams. Welcome, Kevin.
Hello. How's it going? Good morning.
It's going much better for me and better for you because you're not out there bowling right now. These scores look tough. The lanes look tough.
I love it. I love it when they're this tight. I don't love it when they hook and they're this tough.
As you watch this, what are you thinking your attack's going to be? I mean, you like to hook a little bit. You can play straight, but what are you thinking is going to work for you?
I really like to throw it really slow when I can, and it's not too often. So I'm going to be throwing her real slow around the gutter with a whole bunch of surface. So we'll see if that works or not. I think Gene just had 241, which is a really good score, and he's throwing it pretty slow off 1-2, which I won't be that straight. I can't physically do that, but I'll be as close to that as I can. But, you know, when they're this low, it's just about trying to keep it in play, not trying to find some 240 ball reaction, really try to find the 2-0, 210 ball reaction, kind of like what Brett's doing.
Well, I was talking off camera with a couple of guys. That's the different mindset players got to get here, right? You don't need to shoot 240s.
Yeah, no.
Shoot 190s, but how do you get that in your head, right? And I mean, nobody comes out here, I'm going to shoot 190.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Doesn't work that way.
Especially in today's game where it's max reaction, most time you go bowl, even when they are harder, people still figure out a way to shoot 240, 250. You go to nationals and stuff, you still want to find that miss room, and stuff like this, you just ain't going to have it. So you really do got to try to find that 2-0 ball reaction and be comfortable with it. And if you find a pair that's nice and that 2-0 becomes 230, you can't miss that pair, but you don't want to shoot 160, which is very easy to do on this.
Yeah, today that pair is
Unless
not
you're
35 and
Anthony
36.
That's your Simo, because he's a freak.
Just piping it, knocking them all down with every shot.
He's a freak.
He'll be good one day.
If he keeps at it.
Yeah, stick with this game. Keep practicing, young man. You know, you'll be okay.
Yeah, trust the process. Yeah, he's a freak.
So
But
talk
yeah.
to us a little bit about your second time on TV.
There was
was
no
it?
fans. That sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely levels the playing field, I think, when it comes to the moment. Whenever you're not bowling in front of anybody, yeah, you still got cameras, and you still know how big the moment actually is. But man, it's just going out there and bowling now. So you see a lot of the guys making their first telecast and stuff. They were crushing them.
Yeah.
You know, Benji on our telecast, he had 270 game 1 on TV.
He looked like he was never going to miss for a while.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to shoot 260 at this kid. I thought, and when he was coming into it, he was a little starstruck. You could tell he was like a little overwhelmed by the moment. He was super big fan about all of it, which is amazing. And then he comes out and he's bowling like he's been doing it for 10 years. And people always talk about, when you get on TV, your first game on TV, it goes by quick. Like really just try to slow down the game. And you saw Chris the first show shoot 780 the first 3, and then you had Benji shooting 270 game 1. I mean, it just leveled the playing field. So it was a little different just bowling the step ladder. But I think I got everything you could get out of one step ladder in ours, having 2 roll-offs and bowling good and bad and everything. I feel like I covered all aspects.
Right? That's all you can ask for. You had your chances.
Yeah, definitely gave myself the opportunity, and that's all you can. That's all, like you said, that's all you can really ask for, and you go from there.
But let's be honest. I mean, is there anybody that can beat Francois in that building?
I mean, man, he's been bowling pretty sick on that.
Prather and Rash, they seem to match up pretty well in that center.
Yeah, and he bowls really well in that pattern. That's what they bowl the players on. He had 300 and thought no one was going to beat him the first couple games. And Frankie's just guy don't miss. If you let him do what he wants to do, he's never going to miss what he's looking at, and he's going to be tough to beat always. So he's good. There's a reason he's won 2 U.S. Opens. He's not shy of the moment. So it was fun to make him show up and have a roll-off. I wish I could have gotten that left lane back just a little bit, but, you live, you learn, you move on.
So I know a lot of us watching were surprised he picked the left lane, but were you?
No, not at all. Not even remotely close. I don't know why people were even really surprised.
He just finished on the right lane,
Yeah, but he didn't have, which he said it too. He picked wrong because I don't know what he was seeing, but he thought that the right lane was a little better. But He missed the head pin on the right lane. He 4 pins. He never missed a hot pocket on the left lane, and he knew my ball reaction on the left lane all
Right.
day. All day I couldn't strike on the left lane. So I don't think he was going to pick the right lane for his ball reaction and mine, which, when it comes to situations like that, the bowlers, we're going to pick what we want to do. You should never care about your opponent unless it's like drastically different. You should always just pick what you're comfortable with and let fate decide on that. So he was going to pick the lane he wanted, but also with the lane he wanted came the lane that I didn't want. So the second he said, I'll go first in the left lane, I was like, big shocker.
Yeah.
Big shocker there. So,
Well, next time. Get him next time. So there's two.
yeah, we'll get there again. Anyone crushing them this game? Not on 35 and 6. These are.
Yeah. No, we had, 235 for, I think, is that Cameron? And 217 for Simon. And they're going to be 1-2 in the standings, I believe, again. Or still.
So we got on 35 and 6, we have 98 in the 7th. We could have possibly 99 in the 7th. We got 102 in the 7th. The highest score on this pair is 102 in the 7th. They can strike out for 190, and they got to throw the back 5 to do it. That's the Bradley scores. If people haven't really ever seen the Bradley, the last couple of years they made them a little softer. Not on purpose. It just kind of happened that way with the pattern they put out. Scores have not been this low in the last 2 years, so this is back to the Bradley scores that people used to know about.
And no matter what, somebody's going to figure it out. But Nick Pate is a surprising one here. Nobody on this pair is going to shoot 190
Yeah.
on this pair here. But to see somebody of Nick's caliber have 32 in the 4th, you wouldn't guess that anywhere.
We bowled on the same pair last night, and then we did a little action matches after, and we bowled doubles together. And towards the end of it, he was saying his knee was hurting a little bit. So I'm curious how his knee's feeling today. I meant to ask him. But then I saw your pretty face. I had to come see you.
That's some of the benefits of pulling the mask on occasion. You get to see that smile. I don't let just anybody see it. So, but for you, Kev, no problem.
I feel honored, honestly. I do.
Mitch is not having a good day.
Well, he just had 150
Did
there.
he shoot 500? I don't think so.
Oh, wow. How's your knee?
No, he's at.
All right, cool.
Mitch is at 474 for 3.
Nick's getting old. Elevation station. He said, what'd you say Mitch was at?
474.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's shocking for his game. You talk about a player that can just pipe it straight up the gut. That's his A game, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, we were actually
something's just
talking
not
about
working.
that. We were talking about that last night. You talk about all the time with people left-handed to right-handed, and he was talking about how he truly thinks if he had his same exact game but he was left-handed, he would be a lot more successful because he likes to be able to play a little straighter, all that. So it's funny that you can play a little straighter today and he's not bowling very well. But this is a different type of straight too. This isn't like the shape it a little bit, play straighter. This is like throw it in front of you because you have no other choice. It's not because it's something you want to do. You have to play straighter. There's no one is going to be shaping it. More than a couple boards. Now on the next squad, you might see some people shaping a little bit because they don't re-oil, as I was told.
No,
Which
no
I didn't
re-oil.
remember. Not that it really changes my ball reaction too much. Maybe on a pair or two, but I didn't know that they didn't re-oil. I kind of forgot about that. So scores will be a little different there, but they're not going to be high by any means. The thing about when you see oil get taken off the lane when they're this tight is you're just going to see the front part of the lane disappear. So you don't have much hook to still work with. Like your ball's going to hook more on the front, so it's going to force you deeper in, kind of like where Brent just threw a shot. And it hooks immediately, but you can't give the hole away still. So you're going to be sliding at 20, 25, the right-handers, and your break point is going to be 15. And you're just playing that fallback. And that's not something you see hardly at all anymore in the bowling world. Well, back in the day, you'd see the fallback pretty often when they got tough, but now people want to see the lane
Back in the day
open
when
up.
you were, what, like 3 years old?
Exactly. When I didn't even give a crap about bowling.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for Nick to throw that shot pretty good, pretty slow, up 12, and he buckets.
And he's
They
throwing
are
one of
tight.
the biggest hooking balls out there right now, too.
What ball is that?
The Reality with some a little bit of surface on it.
Yeah.
So that ball should hook, no doubt about it.
.143.
Wow. Justin Knowles, 143 that game, and he was second high on the pair.
And Justin Knowles has been known to bowl really well at this event. I think he's
Yeah.
won it
Won it in
twice,
second.
or won. Yeah, I was gonna say won it and finished second one year.
Yeah. Lost to Wes Millat, who
That's my
just
holiday doubles
dominated.
partner.
Not a bad partner.
Not at all. We've bowled a couple events together now, and we haven't quite figured out how to strike at the same time. But hey, you know, we're just dialing that chemistry is all.
You know why he's so good, don't you?
Because he's two-handed, left-handed.
He's from Michigan.
He's from Michigan. Oh, okay.
Northern Michigan even better.
Well, if that's all it takes to be good is just to live in northern Michigan, I'm buying a house up there.
Moving.
So I can actually
You
be
get a
good.
pretty good deal. Yeah. Real estate's cheap in
I
a
could-
beautiful country.
Yeah. It'd be 6 degrees the whole year. I
Well,
can't do
yeah,
that. I get
there-
grumpy
there's
when it's
that.
cold. Brett Shepard. Look at Brett Shepard's game. He's got 0, 7, 6, 0, 9, 0, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, double. Slow start, very good finish. I mean, to be 9 sparing them to death and a couple with a double in there, it's a pretty good game if you get rid of those first 3 frames.
So if you go back 5 for $189, you're proud of that game?
When they're like this and you start off open, open, open,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, where you bowl most normal events, if you get down in a game and you're like, all right, I need to throw a 7-bagger to bail out 220, it's still manageable and you can't be too upset with that. But when you know there's not really a 5-bagger out there on the lanes and you're already looking at 3 or 4 opens through the first 4 frames, you're like, how the hell am I going to get to 190, something respectable? Because it's not like you can just find a 5-bagger out here. So, yeah, I mean, if he can bail out 189, I would say that's a really good bailout game when they're this low. I mean, look on the pair. We got 160, 150, 160, 160 max. He can be high in the pair, and he started off with 3 opens.
Sounds like Justin Knowles pair.
Exactly. I mean, some people that would be watching, tuning in, not really understanding what we're quite bowling on, people would think that people already gave up, they're just chucking at the head pin. I mean, some people are just throwing it at the literal head pin, like that shot.
156. Tyler Slayball.
So they cut to 50, and right now, Brent Boho is the cut, or sorry, AJ Rice is a cut at 145 under. I lied. Math is hard.
45 under.
45 under. It's early, guys. Come on. I was here late.
It'll be 145 by the time it's all said and done.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
looks
they're
that
not
way.
getting easier. Again, when you start to see friction on the lanes in the front, so it's not really seeing the friction that we're going to be seeing is not going to help by any means. See Nick moving way in, give him a super slow hook, dead flat 7, 10. For 150.
I'd say after 4 frames, he'd be happy with 150, unfortunately. Same for Brett Shepard, the way these games started for those 2 players. And we're
Exactly.
talking about 2 pretty good players.
Very, very good players. Nick has really figured it out in the last 2 years, especially on tour. He was always close. He throws it well, but he's really starting to see the shapes he wants to see, which this isn't the typical shape we see on tour. But, yeah, Nick's been bowling very good the last 2 years. Starting to dial it in. He's got a good ball roll, knows how to make shots. I think his issue sometimes he gets a little too high and a little too low on his emotions just whenever I see him bowl. I think it's a little different when you get out on tour, but when we bowl side events and stuff like this, I see him get a little upset with himself sometimes, but we have all been there. I do it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to. I mean, everybody understands your abilities, individual abilities, and when you don't do it, it's frustrating.
Yeah. And this game, it's just so frustrating. There's just so much to this game that can wear you down mentally. So, the best in the world are the best in the world, not because they just are the best bowlers, but they have the best minds. I mean, You ask any good bowler, and you go up to Tommy Jones, ask him what's the most important part about bowling, he's going to tell you mental. Like knowing the game, knowing not to get too high or too low, over being able to throw it good mechanically and look pretty.
Yeah, there's a lot of great physical games out there, but it's the mental side that gets you over the top.
I mean, the perfect example is the GOAT, is Walter Ray. I mean, you watch him bowl, and you typically, if you didn't know who he was, you'd watch him bowl, you'd be like, oh, I'd bowl against that guy. And, you know, he doesn't look like the typical bowler anymore, and but his mental game is as strong as anybody in the world, and he knows what he needs to see, and he's the best for a reason.
Yeah.
Then you got guys that, you see young guys that throw it unbelievable, and you think, how could they ever bowl bad? They throw it so good, and they don't have the mental game yet. They just don't understand the game. They're young. They probably tempers flare like everyone does when they're younger. It's just how it is.
Well, even your second level guys then too, or you can see that physical games are amazing, but
That's a great
you know,
game by Brett to bail out there.
Pete Weber, for example. Has Pete got the most impressive physical game? No. Throws it really darn good.
Yeah.
He throws it the same every time, but Pete's
Right.
the guy, if you walk in and you tell him, hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you can dunk on Shaquille O'Neal, and he'll take your money. And do it. He'll figure out a way to do it.
Right.
Right? That's just the mental side. You're not gonna beat him. He'll do whatever he's got to do to beat you mentally.
100%. It's that mental toughness that you can't teach. You can't
No.
teach it. When people back home ask me, like, Kevin, I want to start taking bowling more serious. I want to start bowling stuff. I want to get better. Like, what do I need to do? And if it's people that already throw it pretty well, I literally, the only advice I give them is go bowl. That's it. That's all I tell them. Go bowl.
Yeah.
You have to go experience it for yourself. You got to go lose. You got to go win. You got to go bowl good, bad, all the in-between. That's how you start. That's how you take it to the next level. If you throw it pretty well and you have your equipment and you feel like, hey, I can start competing in some of these tournaments, even if it's smaller events around your area or whatever, the only way to get better is to go do it. And if you lose the first couple times, that'll only make you better depending on your mindset. If you go out there and you bowl twice bad and you're like, screw this, I'm never doing this again, I'm not good enough, you just need to go out there and be like, all right, why did I bowl bad those first two times?
You got to be honest with yourself. Get beat,
Yeah,
be honest
always.
with yourself.
Always got to be honest with yourself when it comes to bowling, 100%. You can't go out there and be like, I threw it so great, and I should have bowled way better, but I didn't. Stupid. And you're not going to learn anything there.
No.
Because then you're just going to actually get into your head, hey, I actually bowled really good. I don't know why I didn't make that cut or make that money. You know, you just got to say, hey, I bowled like crap. Why did I bowl like crap?
We were talking about that yesterday with Jason, you know, as all the people calling and give him all these, as a tournament director, you hear all the excuses on why players aren't bowling. And he starts giving me some of the names of these guys, and it's like, who are they?
Yeah.
Not being disrespectful to anybody, but if,
No,
if
yeah,
you're
I get
calling the tournament the day before the event starts and giving them an excuse where my car won't start, or I got to work, and we don't even know who you are, you weren't going to bowl good anyway.
Yep.
Be honest with yourself, you know.
Yep.
But show up, bowl, take your lumps, right?
And the thing about bowling
Get your butt kicked.
is you will never please them all.
No.
You're always going to piss off some. You'll never have an event where everyone's happy because there's always going to be people that bowl bad. There's always going to be people that bowl good. And you can take someone that bowls good and be like, oh, we got Tom Hess here in front of us. And if he crushes them, you could have a local guy. But oh, I'm not going to be able to compete with Tom Hess. He bowls on tour. He's won a major title. It's stupid. Why is he bowling this event? You're just not going to please everybody.
Right.
You know, it just is what it is. That's part of the beast of it. I'll tell you what, though, you make them this hard, you ain't going to please anybody.
Except Simonson.
Except for Anthony.
So we talked quite a bit now about taking your lumps, but how about the opposite side of that spectrum? Graham Fa wins his first 2 PB events he ever bowls.
Yeah.
Right? Bowls the players, wins a major, bowls a regional like a week later and wins that.
Yeah.
I'd retire. Right? Stop bowling.
100%
Go out.
success rate.
Yeah, you're done. Get
I've
out
never
of there.
lost.
Oh, quit. Now you got a story to tell everybody. But no, he kept bowling.
The thing about that, too, is you can't – it's bowling, you got to keep it short-lived. Like, you know, I just made a telecast a couple weeks ago, bowled pretty well. It's on to the next. I've kind of already forgot it happened because there's a lot of bowling ahead of me. We've got a couple events coming up. We're bowling here today. You can't sit there and be like, I bowled good that one time, you know. you obviously keep it in your back pocket, but you got to move on to the next. You can't live in the past too long. Good bowling and bad bowling.
You
just
gonna bowl
gotta-
a full tour schedule coming up?
Yeah.
Right, good deal.
Not bowling the TOC as I don't have a title. I've bowled about 4 regionals in my whole life because I'm in a weird spot in the States where there's no real regionals close to us for me to make it worth it. All the Midwest regionals are in Indiana, which is 7 hours, and they do all one-day events. So I've got to go up and get a hotel for 2 days for a one-day event. Doesn't really make much sense. And then all the Southwest ones, they have a couple that are close to me, but they're always on bad weekends. I could bowl about 2 a year probably if I made sure to make it my priority. But, you know, the regionals just aren't my priority sometimes, so.
You don't have that private jet yet?
Not yet.
Soon.
If I have a private jet, I don't think I'll be bowling. I'm going to be honest with you. Because if I have a private jet, it's probably because the music took off, because that can afford a private jet. If the music takes off, I'll just be an ambassador of bowling every once in a while and maybe run a big high-dollar event, but I don't think I'd be bowling much anymore.
We got Steve Novak with Tom Hess here on this pair. And we saw nobody shoot, what, anybody even
The
shoot
high game was
180?
188
Okay.
by Brett, and he threw a really good 4-bagger to get there. So, and we got a couple good players on this pair again, so we'll see. I don't think there are any good pairs.
37 to 38.
37, 38.
Yeah, well, it's better than 35 and 6. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe people want to see the bad pairs. Maybe they want to see you shoot 170. Let you know you're human.
So how is the music, Kev?
It's
K-Will.
good.
I'll call you K-Will now. We're talking music, right?
It's
Go ahead,
good.
give yourself a plug. Let people know what you got going on, where to find your music.
I just released a single called Dream With Me. It's probably everyone's favorite song that I've ever released. It's actually a pop song. It's a little different than what I usually release. So that's on all music platforms. You just search my name, Kevin Williams, Keven. Go listen to a little love song, getting your feelings a little bit. I got a video with it as well on YouTube. Fox did a really good job of letting me get some exposure with my music for the telecast. I can't thank him enough for that. So it's awesome to be able to let someone have their full potential on a platform like that. You know, some people might be like, we don't care about that. You're a bowler. But they are all into it, so it's awesome. So I just released that. I have a lot of other music I'm kind of sitting on, but the marketing side of it is what I'm learning as I go. So I don't want to just release all this music and have no idea what to do with it marketing-wise. So, yeah, I've got a couple songs out right now, but again, just search my name and if you have Spotify or Apple, you'll be able to find it. But that new song's called Dream With Me. And, yeah, let me know what you think.
Check it out.
I love to hear what people have to say, especially the people that come up to me and they're like, hey, Kevin, you know, rap or the type of music you make isn't really my thing, but I listen to it and I like it. And I'm like, hey, I love that. I love that. If I can get people that don't really listen to my music to say, hey, it's not bad, even if they don't listen to it all the time, at least they gave it a listen. And it's just, you know, I just do it because it's fun. I love making music. I don't care if I blow up off of it. It's not my job. My job is to come out here and throw a bowling ball.
As long as you like what you're doing, it's not work. So.
Hey, I live by the do what you love and love what you do. So, and I'm living that. Very happy with what I do. So. Most days. Some days I'm not happy with what I do, you know.
Yeah, come see me at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah. We'll have another talk after my block, and I'll tell you if I love what I'm doing and doing what I love. No, it's part of it.
I would love to share the music here, but YouTube kind of frowns on doing some of that stuff, and they.
I'm so small they won't even know.
No, you'd be surprised. They're really picky about it.
Yeah, I actually get people that will get copyright flags for my music, and I don't even know if you set that up as a music artist or what. I think the music distributor that I go through to release all my music, I think they just do that for you.
Yeah, they tag certain things. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, YouTube isn't a huge lucrative thing for streaming of bowling, but there's times, you know, I mean, there's a little bit of money there.
Yep.
But I've ran some sponsor commercials before, and even just the background music gets flagged.
Yeah.
So that just cuts off any monetization for that entire show. So
Right.
that's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
But I get it. You know, you got to protect your intellectual property. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely.
100% behind that. No doubt about it.
I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. I put something on my Instagram story and it got flagged, and it said that the content in my Instagram story was banned in 87 countries or something stupid. I'm like, and it was just a song of mine, so I don't know if I flagged myself or what. I don't know what happened, but
you offended the entire Middle East, and
yeah,
they've got you on a no-fly list now.
the list of the countries on there are nowhere near where we're at, so I just thought it was funny.
Did
I'd
they tell you
never
what
seen
countries?
that. Yeah, I had a list of it, but every time I
that'd be
clicked on the
great.
list, my phone would freeze. So I don't know
They're
what
watching
happened.
you. I'm telling you, they're
I
watching
know.
you now. Way to go.
I know.
Nice knowing you, Kevin.
Well, I had a good ride. It's fun while it lasted. All right, we got Hess stepping up on 36 here. He's gone 6.27 spare, so has not hit the pocket yet. See if we can get a little closer here.
Quite a bit right.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah,
That was better.
I don't like that, though. I think the righties got to be in the middle lane. They got to be.
Is that where Simo's playing them? More in the middle,
Yeah,
or
Simo, Tim Mack came through here. Westmont, same thing. Just keep the ball in the middle. Keep it.
at the head pin?
I mean, have 8 as your gutter.
Yeah.
I'm
so bad at doing that.
Keep it in play. Don't give the head. I mean, because again, it's 190s. Shoot 190s. You don't need to worry about anything else. And the gutter is just. We've seen a lot of players come through, especially early. Either hooks immediately and goes left, or just goes 60 feet. You've got.
Right.
You mentioned earlier. You got to find room for mistake. Right. No matter what
Even
you're on,
if
you
it
have
is
to find
two
room for
boards.
mistake. Yeah. And it's not outside of 8 right now.
Well, you got to think when they're this tight, you want to keep your ball as close to the head pin as possible, and laying your ball down on 2 is as far away from the head pin as you can get as possible. So,
But
I
players
agree.
thinking, hey, I'm going to take a straight line, but the ball just never gets up that hill.
yeah, it is a straight line, and people think, oh, because I'm further right, it means I'm not going to see as much ball reaction. But when they're this tight, you're seeing more ball reaction because now you have to cover 16 boards to get to the head pin, where if you're throwing it up 12, 13, 14, you're covering 6 boards.
Yeah.
So
Big difference.
But also if like the gutter hooks a little bit here, because some lane machines don't oil the gutter, so if you can find hook off that, then that's kind of the trick sometimes.
I haven't seen anybody find that today.
Well, I saw Gene throw 2 shots, and I saw them come off the gutter, but he was throwing it slow, up 1-2, so I'd be curious to see. And, the right-handers don't ever play that part of the lane, so that's not something they're comfortable with doing, and all the traffic, they would rather be closer to the head pin, like you said, than try to throw it up. Where all the left-handers, we're going to be trying to throw it up the gutter as much as possible, because that's what we're comfortable seeing. If we move in closer to the head pin, we have no traffic to give us any sort of ball reaction. That thing sparked off it.
Wow. Yeah, that's
a double.
180 grit. Fresh
That
180.
thing sparked off it. Hooked 4 times. He said it's the Bradley. It's what you got to do. Make it hook 4 times. Got it. 220 grit.
I guess 180. I was close. Yeah.
Nice. If it was at like 272, it wouldn't have hooked twice. It would only hook twice, and it would have been like 10 back. Said he tripped a 4-pin, so it's true. There's all tight.
So that's why you bring 9 balls here. Is you put, a bunch of service on them all and change every 6 frames.
Right. All right. It's crazy when you bowl on something this tight. Steven's got 200 grit on his ball. By the end of this 5 games, it's going to be 3,000. I mean, so it's funny. You're going to see a lot of oil. Whenever I bowl on something this tight, I have a problem holding my damn spare ball because it gets so slimy.
Yeah.
2,000. Nice.
Might get some lane shine today.
Just a little bit. AJ Rice with a random double as I look down there. He struggled game 3. I think he had 150 or so. Which is about the field average for game 3, it looks like.
Yeah, and AJ was here late last night as well, bowling a bunch, and they didn't finish good. Him and Gene just didn't have much of a look in their semifinal match.
Oh, in the doubles? Who?
Yeah.
I think the people that we bowled with ended up winning that.
Yeah, Swanson and Wilson.
Yep. we bowled with them. They bowled really good and they had a pretty low last game. I think they only had like 410 the last game to still make the cut. So that shows you how much they struck the first two. I think they were 300 over.
Seed. Yeah, they were the 2 seeds.
They were 300 and something over.
Wow.
After 2. The bigger guy that was throwing that warrant solid, I don't know if he was still throwing it, but he kind of like half thumbs it or no thumbs it maybe even. He had 250, 270 to start, and his partner had like 240, 270. I mean, they were crushing him. And I don't know them, so they might be really good bowlers from this area. They bowled really well. Obviously, they
local
won.
guys that bowl Monday Night League here, Monday Night Scratch League.
They
bowled solid.
If you came up to our pair and you had to pick one team that wasn't going to bowl very good, it probably wasn't going to be the team that ended up winning because we had Mitch Hoope and Nick Pay and then me and Michael Holloman, and they just beat our brains in. I mean, they whooped us the whole time. They bowled really well.
No fear.
Gotta love it. Like, we don't care about these stupid bowlers, good bowlers out here. It's all an illusion.
You and Michael bowled together quite a bit through the years. I remember the first time you guys bowled down in Longview 6-7 years ago when you were, 17, 18?
Yeah, pretty young. When we first started bowling more events, we bowled everything together. And then we'd get into match plays, and Michael wouldn't know how to strike, so I dumped him. And then he learned how to strike in match plays right when I dumped him. And I'm like, all right, run it back, come back to me. So I'm trying to sneak them back for all the events again. So we bowl most things again together. We bowl the tour doubles together. I pretty much just don't have them for Longview because I have a little bit better of a bowler as my Longview doubles partner in Anthony Simonson, so it's hard to get rid of him. But
he's okay.
He's all right. We were fortunate to win this year at Longview, and it's fun to win with your friends. So that was a blast. But yeah, we bowl a lot of stuff together. I'm the brains of the operation when it comes to Michael. I tell him where to throw it, what ball, and then I just watch him average 270 usually.
Tony Cox was quite a bit under after 2. I'm guessing the same after 3, so he's not doing so well today.
Well, I'll tell you what, this pair looked impossible one whole game ago, and now we got some scores up there. We only have a couple opens. We've got a 3-bagger up there. We've got a couple clean games. So these guys were bowling a little better than the last pair. You got the only 3-bagger in the whole building. Well, when you're a good bowler, that's what happens. And then, right. And then you got the pair that you said was a little better. And they're struggling a little bit, so it just kind of depends on what people are wanting to see. That ball hooked immediately on Tom.
See, he looks like he balled down a little bit, tried to go a little straighter, but it hit the lane and hooked. I'd like to see him bump in,
That's the thing. The friction we see on this lane is not going to be the friction you really want, the typical friction you want to see. Because now what he's going to do is he's going to have to try to move off that, and it's not going to hook down lane, or he's going to have to try to throw a cleaner ball so it doesn't hook that early. And that thing's not going to want to start up, so it kind of handcuffs you. It's like, what am I supposed to do here? So now you got to go into your bag of tricks.
Soft.
When they get weird like that, you got to find those tricks. You got to do something with your hand, loft it a little bit. You can't just come out here and do your normal, typical ball roll. You're going to have to find a way to finagle it.
Well, we're coming into game 4, and you look at how much surface was thrown through practice and through all this game so far. The fronts are getting pretty fried up.
Yep. It's going to be a tough spare attempt.
Yeah, he knew it.
That's hard on this. Your ball's not going to shape down lane to get that 9 out, so you have to throw straight at it, which is so hard to do. I don't know how to shoot that spare even when they're easy. You saw it on the telecast. I had no clue how to shoot that spare.
I think that's one of the hardest spares out there by far. That sleeper gets you every time.
Yep.
More ways to miss it than make it.
Yeah, I can't ever throw my reactive ball because usually my reactive balls hook too much. So I'm going to chop it that way because it's going to hook too much. But if the gutter doesn't hook, I can't really hook my plastic ball into it. And I don't like throwing straight at it. So I literally just have no clue how to shoot it.
Hit the reset button.
Hit the reset button. I almost backup balled it on TV because I was like, I don't even know what to do.
That ball's not going to make it.
Nah, a little
not
too
even
quick.
Close.
Says he thumbed it down, got around it quick from his reaction.
Chucked it right and it stayed there.
That's the thing. When they're this hard, you want your miss to not be this big, wide open 6 count.
But
he wants to leave a 2 pin
220
there.
grit, the ball still had no chance of touching the head.
Yep. Real speed sensitive when they get like this. I mean, If you miss a little slow, it's going to see that early friction quick, and it's going to hook immediately. If you get a little fast, it's going to blow by it, and it's never going to hook. And that's kind of what we just saw there. He's got a 3-bagger in the middle, 2 open, so that definitely helps. It's not ideal, but again, scores are low, so he's got 91.
Goal, so
he's got 91 in the 5th. Rally off some spares, couple marks here, get out with 2-0. But he's a good bowler. He'd find a way to throw a 5-bagger here. Nice shot by the lefty on 38. That's the angles I'm not very good at, playing dead up 10. It's not my A game.
You're going to have to get it into that arsenal one of these days, though. You're going to see it. You're going to see it.
I can definitely do it a lot better now in the last year than I have. It's just, you know, I don't have to do that too often to be able to throw it there. Usually I can shape it a little bit, just a little. 210 on 37. He thought it was pretty good. Again, if he can just get that 10 out there, 2 pins fine.
Taking a look at Tom Hess to see what his, how he's going to make an adjustment here.
So you never want to play the adjustment off of one lane. So I'm curious to see, he's gone 9 spare, 7 spare on this lane, what he does. Moved in, ball changed, hooked immediately,
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Now he's
never
just
had a
completely
chance.
trapped, right? Like you said, you
Yeah.
ball down, do you go something cleaner? Do you move?
He moved about 10 left there, and it seemed like he balled up, I would say.
Oh,
and that thing hooked twice and never had a chance of getting a little right. So now it's like, okay, if I try to feed it a little right and it does get through that hook spot, it's going to wiggle down lane. So I think from there you got to parallel everything in. I mean, you got to be up 14.
I agree.
I mean, just trap the 1-3, kind of like there. That's a pretty decent shot. It's 4-pin. That's a good miss. I mean, you can throw it a 4-pin pretty easy. That's a good spare. All right, let's see if Steven can make a little better shot here on this left lane.
But Hess is he's right around even for the day. So how do you, in your mind, make that move halfway through game 4? Right? I mean, because a 160 game, all of a sudden you're out of the number.
Right.
So
I mean,
you talk mental side. This is a big mental dilemma for a player like that. Is okay. I really don't have a whole lot now.
So he's
I need
even
to
after
bail the
2?
game out. Yeah, even after 2, I think probably about the same.
Scores are probably going to drop
after 3.
a good amount again. So he's got a little cushion that, well, for starters, to answer that question easily, as a bowler, you can't be afraid to fail. You just got to do it. If you see something you don't want to see in the lanes, you got to make an adjustment, and you got to live with that decision. You can't think what if or be timid and not do it and then sit there and bash your brains in. It's a good shot. So you just got to do it. If you think, hey, I'm not seeing what I need to be seeing, I got to make something happen. Even, there's definitely scenarios where it's like, okay, don't go searching for 240 when I only need 190. But he's looking at 150 here. So
Right.
how can he find 180, 190?
Whole different puzzle when you're trying to do that.
Yeah, it's a mindset. It just depends on where you are, scores, what you're trying to shoot, what the scores are around you. You know that people aren't going to make big moves. This isn't like the field, everyone's going to figure it out and the cut's going to go up. It's going to drop every single game. So he ball changed to a bigger ball. He moved in about 7-8, I would guess. And it hooked even more, even earlier, and was dead Brooklyn. So here, I'm curious to see what he wants to do. Again, I think he needs to parallel another 6 left of that, get away from that early hook, and keep that ball dead in front of him. Try to hit the 1-3. I mean, if you flat 10, you can live with that.
Right.
At least it has somewhat of a chance. You don't want to sit here and try to get greedy and say, I need to find a 5-bagger. Let me get to the hole first, because I don't know what his couple 9 spares were. I didn't see, but the couple shots we watched, he hasn't been close to the hole. So looks like he's staying further right. See him. He's going to make a good shot here, I think. So he moved further right, and he played that early hook. That's a bad break. Which is another way to approach it. You know your ball's going to hook early. You can get a little further away from the hole, like he did. And his ball hooked immediately and kind of laid there.
A lot softer on that one off the hand, though.
I liked that shot a lot. I had a feeling he was going to make a good one there. It's a little tough 9-pin. But you see, no emotion out of it because he knows, hey, I hit the hole here. I can bail out 190, get on my way. He's a vet. He's been at this thing for a long time, so he understands the mindset of where he's at. Yeah, we got some people bowling pretty good on this pair. Got a clean game at the top of the left. Picking up his spares.
See, I told Jason that a few years back. He needs to have a 50 clean pot.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anyone would hit it.
Yeah, but imagine if everybody just throws $5 or $10 in.
Pay a lot of money.
And it carries over from year to year if nobody hits it.
It paid twice as much as the event in 2 years.
Yeah, that could add up pretty fast.
As long as Anthony doesn't come bowl.
No, he had an open game 2. 9 missed, frame 1 game 2, so he's out.
Yeah, I mean, 50 clean on this is would be incredible. It's pretty good by Steven.
That made it? All right.
He's laughing at this scoring pace. These aren't hard, he says. He's pretty good bowler.
Well, Steve does a lot more with hand positions and releases.
Yeah, he's an off-field guy.
As opposed
He
to
can do a lot with his
changing
hand.
balls.
I mean, these guys are figuring out this pair quick. You wouldn't think this pair was low scoring the game before. We got a 240 left, a 220 left, 220 left, 240 left. He didn't like that. 2 pins, great miss. Oh, just kidding. That's a double. Slap it out, run it off.
Hey, don't be shy about those. Take them and run.
Oh, especially on this. But even then, if that 2 pin doesn't fall, he hated that shot. It was still in that tube. He 2 pins. He gets out with a 9 spare. It's all a mindset. It's kind of like when you go bowling something easy and everyone's averaging 260. Your mindset is like, all right, I got 1 miss a game. Let's get it.
Yeah.
It's funny when they're this hard to see how everyone wants to attack the lanes. Good shot by Tom there. Yeah,
Much better.
Little softer the hand so it doesn't try to see it so early. Throw it at the 1-3. That was a good shot.
Yeah, you hear him just said, how do I 9-pin on that shot? Yeah, he knows it was a good shot. It was a really good shot.
You know, bowling comes. Everyone says bowling comes full circle. Yep. That's that full circle, and it sometimes it comes quicker than people want. You know, he throws a shot, he makes a move, it goes broken, it hooks immediately. He's like, all right, well, I got away with the break. Gets up on the right lane, aces it, trusts the adjustment, commits to it. 9-pin. Thank you. Come again. That's just that's how bowling is. Another trip too? Oh.
No.
We're begging now. I want all those hits. If I got a chance for a trip 3-pin, I want it. All right, Steve Novak looking for another 3-bagger.
Looks like he's moving farther, right? Yeah,
Finding that hook off the gutter. That was in a little bit. It's going to lay there, though. Oh. It's crazy. Miss in. Ball didn't hook as much.
That's not something people are used to seeing.
No, not at all. Not at all. Unless they get real cliffed. But yeah, when they're tough and you miss in, 90% of the time you miss in, it's going to hook more. And you're going to go through the face in big 4 or something. Not a light 2-pin or whatever. So we got Zach. I can't see his last name. Throwing at this 2-pin. This is an ideal Bradley score. He's clean. He's got a couple lower counts of split, but he's picking it up. If he can throw a double here, he's shooting 2-0. It's a great game. He's just that's called grinding. That's just grinding away. 7 spare, 9 spare, 7 spare, strike, 8 spare, 999. No holes.
And on 37-8, we've got max score 192. If Brad Painter can spare and strike out.
What up, Kim? How's it going? I'm hanging in there. Defending champ, Kim Balabi, coming up and saying hello.
He didn't say hello to me.
It's a lefty thing. We got to stick together, you know. Even if lefties don't like each other, we just do it because we have to.
That's a fact.
because no right-handers like us. So I like him, though. But even if we didn't like each other, he'd say hi because he knows we don't have many people out here. It's a little dramatic,
You know what? You know Brad Painter's history? He's got a second career as well.
Really?
Yeah, he does modeling and acting. Bradley Painter here. He actually did a miniseries. He was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. All right, Zach, what you got for me? I think he's going to strike here. It's pretty good. The old Swisher 5-7 leaves the 7-pin. Looking at another makeable spare. Looking at a nice little 2-0 game if he can throw a double. If he stays at his pace, he's got 190.
So he actually got 2 Z's in his name. Is that Zasto?
Zach, yeah.
Zasty? Zasty. Wow.
Zasty. I don't know if it's
Double
pronounced
Z.
Zasty.
Double
Zaste?
Z.
You think it'd be Zaste?
I have no idea. Never seen that name before. Double Z. I like it. Wow.
Z twice. Zasty. I hope that's how you pronounce his last name, because if so,
The big
that is
Zasty.
such an awesome
Yeah.
name. I'm gonna ask him.
That's how we're doing it.
I'm gonna ask him.
If that's not how you pronounce it, we're changing it legally.
The big Zasty.
Yeah.
Zach, how do you pronounce your last name? We were hoping it was Zasty.
It is now. Sorry.
Still a cool
Sorry.
name.
Yeah.
A little disappointed. Oh, that lefty got that ball to hook. See, as a left-hander, if I see my ball hook from 1-2 like he just did, even though he got 6, I'm moving left. I'm throwing it harder from there because I saw it hook. Tom?
Well, he liked that
Oh,
shot.
count
Roll
it.
it. Slap it up. There you go.
Oh. There it is.
Give him
There
their hit.
it is.
Yeah.
Get our money's worth on this TV pair. Senior carry. So if he doesn't smash a 9-pin, the last shot on that lane, he's got a 4-bagger for 220 going in the 10th.
Yeah.
But
No,
again,
still needs
the
to bail out
Brooklyn.
190.
Again, the Brooklyn. So did Simo bowl down on this end already?
Yeah, he already skipped our cameras. He's
Looks like we have Don Barrett coming up.
going to the low end now. Simo is.
I mean, you can physically see Steven's ball hooking 3 times. It looks like it's wobbling all the way down there as it's trying to shape. I'm going to have to hit some of my balls with some surface, it looks like.
You think?
I mean, I knew that, but I don't think I really have anything with a lot of surface on it, so I need to go do that. Zaste. Man, I wish it was Zasty.
We can get on the internet and change it legally while he's not even paying attention.
I mean, you can give people nicknames all the time. Zach Zasty. Zasty. How many viewers we got right now? 425.
It's good for a Saturday morning. So I don't know what time it is. It's still Saturday?
Yeah.
After last
11.
night, we were here till this morning. Oh, yeah.
The long weekends. It's probably, even though the long weekends are a little tough on you, it's got to be a little refreshing to be able to come out and see some bowling during the world that we're in right now. You know, the bowling's not quite what it has been with the whole pandemic going on. So it's nice to be able to come out here and have 180 entries in a tournament and a big center and just come bowl, come compete.
18 players averaging even or better. Zach Wademan, the last guy, shot 600 with the first 3. Simon, the leader at 743. Novak in second.
Simo running away with it. Zach Weedman. We got Anthony Simonson at 743. We got Steve Novak at 660. He's bowling about 2-0 pace this game. We got Robert Atkinson at 660 as well. Brett Shepard, Cameron Doyle, Chris Prather, Michael Holloman at 630. Tom Jones, I'm going to assume is Tommy Jones at 627. He's in 10th. Matt Sanders at 609. He's in 12th. So, again, the grind, unless you're Anthony, most guys are just kind of grinding away, trying to stay even, shoot 210, move on. You got Zach Weedman who's at 600 even. He just made his first telecast. So he's bowling hot. Then we go down to the cut, minus 74 after 3. Nick Pate's barely in there right now. He's at minus 61. Greg Young's barely in there. There's Kim Bobby, your defending champ's barely in there. He's at 544. So there's some names on here that are pretty low in the standings. You got AJ Rice, who's at 490. You got Chris Ascona, who's at 490. Brent Boho, 5-0. Justin Knowles, 515. Tony Lambert, 520. So that just shows. I just listed off some really good bowlers that are not bowling very good. So that just shows how hard they really are out here. And some of those guys have won this event. I think Tony's won it numerous times. He's a local legend around here. Not local as in just a local bowler. He's done it all over the place, but he's very well known in this area. Tom's shooting 2-0. That's a really good game. When we thought he had no ball reaction, the vets find a way. So they aren't easy. There's not a lot to grab out here.
Well, to give you an idea how good Simon's bowling, Simon had 526 for 2. And that beat
That's the cut.
39 players.
That's the cut
For
after 3.
Right?
That's the cut after 3.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
he was
that's
at
crazy.
after 2 is what the cut is at for 3.
Unreal.
I mean, so just like I said, we got Tom bails out 190 when we thought he didn't have much to go with. He finds a 4-bagger, which could have been a 6-bagger. We got the big Zasty with 192, grinds away. It's a good 190. Steven's got 2-0.
Somebody's got to start doing some merch for Zach right now. Let's get it out there.
The big Zasty. We got Wes Malott, the big nasty, and we got Zach Zasty.
How about if that comes down to them bowling for the title?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We got a long way to go before that happens.
Whole long way to go. It's not your typical format, too, how pins drop. So, you know, Simo's a little upset pins drop because he's got a billion pin lead on everybody already after 3 games.
Yeah, you know, that's the good and bad of this format, right? For the first round, just be in the top 50 on your squad. Of course, there's some side action he's going to be bowling for, I'm sure.
Of course. He might be in a couple brackets.
2.
Oh.
I think he's only in 2.
Craig Vi said the Vi's are watching. I love the Vi family out of Ohio. Chris Vi and his lovely family, so shout out to them.
Is
I
Chris
need to come
bowling?
out and see them. Chris is not bowling.
No.
I told him to come bowl and be my friend and stay with me. He didn't want to. Wow, Novak misses his spare for 180. Just when you thought he was going to shoot 230 on an impossible pair, he's got 180. Yeah, Chris isn't bowling. I don't know why he said he wasn't bowling. Taking a weekend off.
There's a lot of quality bowlers in this region that didn't make the trip for some reason this year, and I find it interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
To be
You
honest.
know, this is kind of like a mini tour event because usually we're in the middle of our tour season right now, but since the season's a little different, a lot of these guys that are in the States and stuff, like a Don Barrett, you know, they got nothing else to do. They're going to
Right.
come bowl this.
Right?
Where usually we're in a different part of the country, and it just doesn't make sense for us to come. Some of us. I've tried to bowl this the last 4 or 5 years.
A couple years it was between Jonesboro and the players.
Yeah.
So
And some
Jonesboro
people still made the trip.
Yeah.
So we got Zach Whedon on 37. He just made his first telecast, which I think airs tomorrow? Today?
Maybe today. Maybe right now.
Today?
Could be right now.
The Grind. That's what we were saying. So you can catch Zach on FS1 for his first telecast. He's trying to get to that Players Finals. I don't know much about Zach, but the little bit I've talked with people briefly, they said he's a really good bowler, young. He bowled in college.
Yeah, good collegiate bowler.
That's about all I know about him, but I got to watch him bowl the show. We were there. I got to witness it. I won't make any spoilers, but
Don't tell us.
I'm not going to say a word. But all I know is I've been told he's a pretty good bowler, and he's going to start coming after the tour guys, so that's what we want. We want everybody to get out there and see what they got.
Yeah, he's from Indiana. I'm drawing a blank where he bowled college at. I should know that answer, but just can't remember right now. All right, game 5. Here we go.
Game
Last
5.
game of A Squad. There's some new sponsors up there. We got Motive Bowling, Cubica AMF, creating the difference. High Five Gear, and the 7 Leaf. Sponsors of the Bradley Open this year, and without sponsors like that, we're not bowling for 10 grand.
Hey, we
So, thank
appreciate
you.
every sponsor that can contribute and be a part of something like this. You know, the Bradley is a well-known event, amateur event in the nation. So, yeah, to get sponsors like that to join the family and keep it alive, we can't thank them enough. We wouldn't do it without them. Couldn't do it without them.
Purdue for Zach. I should have known that. Thanks,
Purdue.
TJ Schmidt.
Okay, where's Purdue at?
Indiana.
Oh, okay. You know, I didn't go to college. I don't know. What's Zach at after 3? Is he bowling? I think he was the cut. I think I said he was. Yeah, he's 600 even. So he's dead
Yeah.
even. I don't know what he shot game 4, but he's bowling pretty good. I'll take even on this.
Absolutely.
Take even and move on with my day. Pray through a couple pairs down to our left. Just got a double up there. Waiting on this last pair to get over here to 35 and 6.
So here's an interesting set. West Malott 179, 258, 152. So like
Minus
you said,
20?
once you get the pair you're on, hit it, and he hit it. Yeah, so he's 589 for 3.
You hear that so often with, which we didn't even mention, we had a 248 on 35 and 6. That's a really good game from the two-hander. He had that one trip too, but most of the shots I saw were pretty good outside of that. It's a really good game. You know, when you watch interviews at like the U.S. Open and you hear the guys that make the show or make the cut and they're asking them, you know, what'd you guys do? They say, hey, you grind out these bad pairs, and when you see a pair where you have a ball reaction, you can't miss it. You got to hit it. You got to get your big pins from the good couple pairs you see, and other than that, you're just trying to survive. And that sounds like that's what he did. He hit a good pair, but then to back it up with 150, you know, he probably wasn't too happy about that. Obviously was not nowhere near the same as what he saw the pair before.
B.J. Hines finished in top 4 in doubles last night with Marissa Thomas. They bowled very well.
Yeah, I looked over and saw Marissa throwing a shot, and I was like, oh, look, they made the cut. I think if they bowled together last year, this is her high school coach, she said, I think.
Oh, no kidding.
I think
Good
so.
story.
Was last night best 2 of 3? Or
Yeah, I'm sorry. They lost in the round of 8 to Rice and Perez in a very close match. So you didn't bowl college. Who
Nope.
was your inspiration to get into bowl? I know you started late. Give us a little. How'd you get into bowling? Who was your
I
inspiration?
didn't really have an inspiration, to be honest. I don't. Whenever people ask me stuff like that, you know, it wasn't really my dream to be a bowler. It wasn't really my dream to win a title. When I started doing it, it was because at first it was kind of a financial thing. I started making a little money, and I was like, hey, I need to figure out what I'm doing in life here, and I'm not going to be playing basketball or anything. I was just going to chase playing basketball in college just for fun or something, but, you know, I wasn't going to make any money from that, so I started bowling, and now, you know, it's definitely my passion, and I'm very, very passionate about what I do, and I put a lot of time into this game, but I never really had a big inspiration. I just like to compete. That's my inspiration, is competing, and when I figured out I'm decent at bowling and I can actually compete at a high level, that became the inspiration, I would say. But
I like it.
if I had to pick one person that could have been my inspiration, Jason Couch was my bowling hero. Only lefty you'd see on TV that'd give it the big wheel, give you all the energy you wanted. I loved watching him bowl. The little bit of bowling I watched when I was younger. I used to have the little plastic ball and pins, and I would have bowling on TV, and I would try to mimic people's styles whenever they would bowl. I think that's why I can bowl pretty decent right-handed, because I would always do that with the little plastic bowling balls. But, you know, I just wanted to play all the sports ever, so I never really got to set into one until I started seeing a little money coming in. And here we are.
Couch is a good guy to emulate. He's had a Hall of Fame career, and we're going to see him a lot this year, I think.
He's bowling the 50
He's
tour,
bowling
isn't he?
50 tour, and
Love to hear that.
He's, you know, knees feeling a little bit better, and he's got those competitive juices
He bowled the
flowing again.
players, I think, in his region.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did, but yeah, I mean, Jason Couch is one of the best lefties, one of the best bowlers to ever do it, and that's unbiased to being a big fan of him. I've only really spoken to him one time, and whenever I had signed with EBI, and I went to the holiday doubles. I was sitting there watching someone bowl, and he came up to me. He was like, "Welcome to the team," and we chatted for a second. Super nice, very welcoming. So that was pretty cool that he came up and chatted with me for a minute, because that guy is a legend.
And he gets it. He understands how things are going, and you know the reason he come down and talk to you is he understands there's you're part of the new group that's going to be out on tour to take the game to the next level.
Yeah.
And I got to watch him down in Florida this year. I did a tournament for Cubic AMF, the string pin tournament.
Yeah.
And Jason bowled very good that weekend. But just to watch him progress through the day and see him once he got to match play was a whole different level. Whole different level. You could see the fire is back, and he wasn't messing around. It was just a small event. The first day, the second day was $5,000 on the line. So that, some good money there. But just to watch him through qualifying, he's walking around, joking, having fun with the guys. As soon as match play hit, it's all business.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fun
Still
to see
his
that.
job.
It's fun to see that in his eyes, and I think you're going to see him have a pretty good PBA 50 season.
I believe that 100%.
But he's got Chris Barnes this year, Tom Hess out there this year, Brad Angelo.
That's the thing. The 50 tour, when you get the fresh 50-year-olds that are just become a senior and they're pretty good, those guys are going to be tough to beat because, they're the youngest bodies. They're still competing on the regular tour. So, don't be surprised if Chris Barnes wins 3 titles in his first tour season.
I just honestly hope they don't get upset when I go out there this year and win Rookie of the Year on the 50 tour.
I would love to see
Good luck to those guys, but I'm telling you right now.
Chris Barnes doesn't need another accomplishment like that. He's got all the
It's all mine.
the players of the years and the titles and medals, and let you have one. Hi,
I want 'em
Michael.
all.
Looks like we got Michael Holloman on our pair.
Yeah, you can't leave.
Never heard of him.
You got to prep for the next round, but you got to stick around because your doubles partner's out here, so you get to break down his game.
Perfect. I can do that.
And so this is what you're going to find is the best part of sitting here is they can't hear what we're saying usually. And you don't have to be talking about him. Just look at him, and they'll think you're talking about him.
Yeah.
All right? Look at he doesn't want to look at it. Don't want to make eye contact because he knows we're saying something about him.
Yeah, he's acting like he
get
doesn't.
in his head.
He's acting like we're not here, but he knows we're here. He's going to try to put on a show now.
Yep.
So here's my thing with Michael is I always joke with Michael that when I'm not bowling with him, he tends to carry a lot of off hits and get a lot of lucky breaks. And for some reason, when we're bowling tournaments and I glance down at his pair and I see him throw a shot, I always see those. And he always knows it. So if he crumples the big 4, he comes up and he's like, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, "Of course I saw that." And he's like, "Have you watched any of the shots?" No.
That's great.
So now that I'm watching him, he might not get any breaks. So here we go, Michael Holloman up on lane 35. This is my longtime doubles partner, PBA Rookie of the Year. Throwing it pretty slow and pretty out the gutter. Leaves a little 3-9. I can't tell what ball that is. I bet it's a Zenith, it looks like. I'm going to assume it's a big bowling ball, which we just drilled for him. Yeah, it's a Zenith. We just drilled for him before we came here. So if he bowls bad, he's going to blame me on the ball drilling and the layouts. If he bowls good, he's going to be like, "I just bowled good." So I won't, it's a lose-lose for me.
That's the way it goes.
Of course not, of course not. So people that know Michael Holloman knows when they're easy, he's tough to beat. But over the last, 3-4 years, he's learned to see what he wants when they're hard. And, I mean, if you give him the ball reaction he wants to see with his eyes, he'll beat you on anything. He's just a good bowler now. He definitely has that bigger pocket to where when he gets to the 1-2, sometimes he'll trip out some stuff, get some lucky breaks. But that's all because he does the right things with his hand. He gets in the right part of the lane that he wants to, Good bowlers create good breaks. It is true. Which, meanwhile, we have on 37, guy has front 4, and then he smashes an 8-pin. So
Bowling's never fair. Now, I'll be honest, I was surprised when Michael got his card and went out on tour.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because he was having not just success on the amateur level, but
he was winning everything.
really good
It's not success. He was winning everything.
He was dominating. But I like the fact he did because go out there and don't be afraid of the competition. Don't be afraid of the challenge.
He's not.
And
He's
it's
not
good to
shy
see
of the
that.
moment.
It's Good to see
He
that.
wants to compete against anyone on anything. And, you'd be surprised how many people don't have that mindset in the bowling world. I think that's what hurts us the most is people, when they bowl bad, they shy away from it and they'd rather quit than try to get better.
Scared money.
So, yeah, scared money don't make money. I say that all the time. And when, like I said earlier, when people ask me, I want to get better at bowling, and I say, go out and bowl, go out and lose, figure out who you are as a person, you're going to find out when you lose 3 tournaments in a row and you're down, $1,000, whatever amount of money you're down, $500 to $1,000 on expenses, entries, and stuff like that. There's 2 ways to go about it. I'm never going to bowl bad again, AKA I'm going to work at it, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to become a good bowler, or AKA I'm never going to bowl bad again because I'm just never going to go bowl again. And you see a lot more people go the route of like, I'm just never going to bowl tournaments again. I'm never going to be embarrassed like that. And it's sad to see that, but it's just the brutal, honest truth with that. So Michael does not have that. When Michael bowls bad, he calls me, he calls his tour reps, calls his brother, and he says, what the heck I got to do here? What am I doing wrong? Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm done bowling bad. It's time to get back to bowling good. So love to hear that mindset out of anybody.
Absolutely.
You just need more of that. You need more of that competitive drive, which I think bowling just lacks sometimes. I hate to say that, and I'm not bashing the bowling industry, but it's just the truth. It really is. I see it enough where people come out and you're like, this guy could be good. Bowls bad a couple times, and you just don't see him much anymore.
Unfortunately, younger players are used to winning. They're not used to losing, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you bowl like in the
Walter
youth.
Ray is, won more than anybody in the history of the game, and he's like 6.5% win rate.
Yeah.
And that's the best ever. I mean, some younger players have higher percentage right now, but over 40 years, he's
Greg
it's
Young.
not a massive win rate, but that's the best of all time.
Well, that's the thing is coming up in the youth, the amount of kids that work at it, like genuinely work at it, put in 3, 4, 5 days a week of practice, learning, going out and bowling stuff, it's a lot smaller than the guys that are out here trying to do it for a job. So when you see those guys like a Spencer Robards, who's from Springfield, the kid wins everything in the youth. He's setting the record. He's setting the record for 300s, 800s. I mean, you know why that is? Because this kid bowls every day of his life. He practices 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. He works at it. So he will see all this success, not because he's not as good as people think, but because the people around him just aren't working at it as hard as him. So, like you said, he's used to winning. He's going to come out here in a couple years. He's going to start bowling against the big boys for some big money, and it's not going to be the same. Not saying he's going to bowl bad. He can still come out here and beat some people,
Yeah, he's an
make some
anomaly.
cuts.
He'll do okay, but yeah, it'll be interesting to
But
see how
he's
he
not
handles
just gonna.
it. Right?
Yeah, he's not just gonna come out here and we bowl for a living. We just can't. We're not gonna let people just come out here and right away to start beating us, And so, yeah, he's gonna say, hey, all right. It's gonna tone him down a notch, and not in a bad or a good way, but it's gonna humble you a little bit, just because these guys out here work at it a lot too. So. You come out here and you're used to doing one thing. I'm used to winning and beating people in, and you come out here and you're like, I'm not beating everybody now. What do I do?
Yeah. Keep practicing.
Keep practicing, keep bowling.
And
You just got to keep at
you've
it.
learned at a PBA event, it's basically 3 tournaments. Qualifying is one thing.
Yeah.
Match play is another. And
Yep.
then once you get to show, that's a totally different,
Yeah, they talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
You learn to cash. You learn to make a cut. You learn to bowl in match play. You learn to get on TV. It's just all, and it is, because it's all different mindsets. It's just, and it's funny, I talked about this with Chris Fye. Whenever we were rooming together these last couple weeks, we bowled snowman doubles together, and we were talking about, you saw Jillian Martin, the young 16-year-old who made 2 step ladders in the women's tour already. So crazy to see. And people like that are just oblivious to what they're doing.
Yeah.
She's just like, I don't know, I'm just bowling. She doesn't know yet, like, how good she really is. She's just, I don't know, I'm just bowling. You see that every once in a while where kids are just bowlers that just don't quite know what they're doing yet. They're just out there doing it. And they're like, oh, this is not normal that I'm bowling good? I don't know, I'm just doing my thing. And it's
she made
crazy
a big
to see
jump
that.
on that event as far as her learning curve. She picked up
Oh,
a
it's
couple years of
amazing.
experience just in that 10 days they were down in Arlington.
It's amazing.
But you also learn what you can and can't do. Because I'm guessing she probably learned to when you should and should not slap off a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, she was very energetic. I like to see that, but there's a time and a place to do that, and that's.
Hey, I'm always 100% for showing your emotion, showing your passion.
Absolutely.
You see it when I bowl. You saw it on the telecast. A couple people tagged me in some stuff with some people that weren't really fans of it, commenting on the PBA page, saying I'm arrogant, things like that. I would like to say I'm not arrogant at all. That's their opinion, and I could see where I come off that way. But, hey, I am who I am. I'm going to be passionate, and I think the sport needs more of that. They need more people with a little bit of fire and energy, like the Jason Couches did back in the day, like the Kyle Troops have now. It's fun to watch.
Right.
It's fun to watch. I think it's not as fun when you get robots coming out there and you don't see a single glimpse of emotion and they just won a title or whatever. I think you need a little more flair in the game. There's a reason why we don't get quite the ratings we should, because people don't quite understand bowling as is, and then you watch them bowl and they aren't showing any emotion. They're just going up there and throwing a shot. It's like, oh, okay, well, this isn't that fun to watch. That's just my opinion. Some people are a little different, and
I agree. I think that's
it
a
is
big
what
thing,
it
and you
is.
touched on it. Fox is starting to embrace some of that stuff, and that's a different mindset than what the PBA had for a long time, is showcasing the players and even talking about stuff you wouldn't normally talk about, right? The controversial stuff.
Yeah.
That was kind of shy. That was kind of a hush hush thing. Let's not talk about that.
But look at every other industry. They exploit it a little bit, depending on what it is. If it's too serious, they're not going to call it out. But you need that. You need personality in any professional sport, any entertainment. At the end of the day, it's entertainment for people. It's our job. It's our profession. But people that watch at home on Sunday, watch FS1, watch a telecast, it's entertainment. They're watching it for entertainment. And if there's not much entertainment going on besides throwing a bowling ball, I think there needs to be more of that. And it's the big thing about it is, as bowlers, we learn so much to be so even keel and keep our emotions in check and not get too high or too low, because our game is all about patience and, just staying even keel. So when you get on TV, it's hard to break out of that thing we've learned to do for so long. Some of the vets, they're just not going to have that as much, because it's like, hey, I've learned to stay the course for so long. Michael misses the head pin twice in a row. So it's hard to just be like, all right, now I'm going to change who I am, and I'm just going to have all the flair and emotion.
Well, there's a reason people recognize P. Weber. People of all ages recognize
He stood
P.
out,
Weber.
and he probably had his fair share of haters, but that, comes with the territory of anything you do, anybody. You ain't doing it right if you don't have some people hating on you.
So in the game 5, last game of the block here at the Bradley Open A squad, Kevin Williams joining me in the booth here for the last couple of games. Kevin, I appreciate your time and your passion, and hopefully you don't have time to sit down anymore, because you're going to be bowling the rest of the weekend.
I agree. I love coming in. Every time I see you, I always want to sneak in the booth. I love to come in and chat it up.
So as you're watching Michael, you know his game well. You know how your game compares to his. What are you seeing? You're going to be bowling out here on the burn. What are you thinking now?
I'm going to be very similar to where he's at. I'm going to be throwing it pretty slow at the gutter with a bigger ball with a lot of surface probably. I like to be able to throw it slow, where Michael's kind of the opposite. He struggles a little bit when he has to throw it a little slower, and that's something that he's been trying to work on a lot more and get a little better at, because when he can throw it a little firmer, it doesn't matter if it's straight or hooking it, he's pretty damn good. But when he has to tame that ball speed down, he already, if you watch his approach, he's really high up on the approach. And for guys to slow their ball speed down, that's typically what we do. I move up a foot, 2 feet on the approach, shorten my strides, make everything a little smaller, a little more compact. It makes you throw it slower. Well, Michael's already small and compact when he throws at normal speed. So for him to move up even more is kind of tough. So he's got to find that trick to where he can tame that ball speed down sometimes, because it gets him in trouble. But I think he's bowling pretty good. I mean, he had 640 after 3, I think. So
yeah, he had a 7-bagger to start game 1, though, so a lot of it came right there. He was off to, I think, he had 39 or 40 to start. So he got a lot of it game 1. I guess we got the scores in front of us, I can tell you. Yeah, 242 game 1.
Okay.
And that was all
So
on
he's
the
looking
7-bagger.
fine.
Opened the 10th frame for 240s.
What'd you have game 4? 27? Oh, 57. Oh, Michael's bowling great.
He's fine.
Michael's bowling great, which that's scary to see. Like I said, his struggle over the years where he's been really good these last 3, 4, 5 years of bowling is being able to throw it slow. And he's throwing it slow, and he's 100 over. That's a little scary, I would say. So he's struggling a little bit on this pair. He's missed a head pin twice now. From there, it's hard. He's already thrown it up 3-4. He doesn't have much room to move left or right. I think find that another gear down. Throw it a little slower. Maybe move a little left if he can. If he can get it coming off of 2-3 instead of 3-4-5, he might see his ball hook a little more. But he knows the part of the lane he's been in is successful, so you don't want to just get all the way out of that ball, out of that reaction that he's at, as Greg throws a strike there. And keep it in play. Again, he's 100 over. That's more than enough. He needs about 112 this game.
I like his chances.
I like his chances too, but we also want to see some decent bowling out of him here.
It's
So
like he's
let's see.
actually moved back on the approach. He was way up early. He's moved back a little bit.
So let's
There's
see
still
where he
about a
lays.
5-foot
He's
approach.
making a ball change.
Oh,
That hooked immediately. So he laid that down about 5, 6, 7. Hard to kind of see, but that hooked at his hand, and it kind of backed up to the Brooklyn trip 4 pin. Those are the hits I always witness from Michael. He might be bowling good all day, leading an event, bowling amazing, and then I'll look over and I'll catch his one bad shot that gets 4 but somehow strikes. It's funny how it works.
it's nice when that happens if you're the guy throwing the ball.
Definitely. And it just makes me even more mad when I'm losing to him. It's like, come on, dude. It's funny. So this pair, I mean, it kind of goes to show just how people are seeing the lanes. We've seen a couple guys make this pair look really easy. 2 games ago, we saw a high of 180, and it was a good out-the-back 180. Then the last game, we see a 240, a 190, a 190. And now we got some guys struggling on this pair again, as we just see an 810 on 36. That's a bad break. So it's just all about what people are comfortable doing, you know, when they get this hard. Are you comfortable with being able to throw it at the head pin? Move on with your day.
Oh, I think it's more important on something like this to have somebody else watching what you're doing.
Oh, a second eye is always important, even when they're easy.
It's huge.
Even when they're easy, because there's a lot of things as a bowler you can't see when you throw a shot. I mean, for starters, you don't see the first 15 feet. You have no clue what your ball does in the first 15 feet. You can get an idea based off of its reaction, but you don't physically see if your ball hooks at 10 feet or not. Where
Go back to, we were talking about Tom Hess here for half the game, and
Yeah.
and I guarantee he wasn't seeing early what the ball was doing, and we were.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting up back here, we're watching it, and it's frustrating. As we're kind of yelling at the monitors, like, Tom, you got to move. You got to move a little bit, you got to make a little change. And he just felt like he was close, but just not there.
This morning, OH. OH.
Oh, man. Dan Higgins.
Buckeyes.
Dan Higgins is the Ohio fan. I'm a Texas fan, and our basketball program
Longhorns?
and our football program has actually been good this year. I'm very happy with that. I just want to see him be decent. To see a washout on 35.
Well, you'd like my new car then. I bought an orange Maxima.
I like the Longhorns, but I don't like the color orange, really.
No? Oh, you're killing me.
All orange. That's out there. You don't see an orange car very often.
No, and there's so I had a black Maxima, and I got totaled this summer. The girl never saw me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So
Glad
yeah,
you're still here with us.
everything worked out okay. But I decided at that point, you know what? I'm getting the brightest car they make, because she literally got out of her car and said, "What happened?" Dude, I'm sitting in the middle of the road. You just T-boned me. I'd never
That's
moved.
a good reason.
So
That's
I
a good
said, "You know
reason
what?"
to get a bright
Yep.
car.
So I like the Maxima, and I got on their website. Hey, orange, boom, I'm in, done. If you can't see this,
That's one way to go about it. Yeah, now you got no excuse. I
Nope,
didn't see him
none.
coming. He is a son on wheels. You can see him coming.
how's Zach doing here? Can he make that?
Oh, you hate to see that. He's got 179 left. Who can throw a 3-bagger in the 10th. Looking at 160 with a mark. Got Greg Young here. I don't think he's bowling very good based off of his efforts in bowling here. Greg, a good friend of mine. Love Greg. Think he might be struggling a little bit.
He's in the number after 3, minus 59.
His body language is saying he might have bowled bad the last game, or he's close to that cut number.
So he's a good example. We were talking about earlier. He had a pretty good youth career, college career. A
Yep.
lot of success, Team USA, and gets out on tour and just hasn't had it.
He
not that he's been bowled horrible, but he just hasn't
Right.
had that breakthrough, a couple events or season to make people know, hey, here I am.
push. Man, that ball's hooking immediately.
And a ton of talent.
Greg is very good, and he's grown a lot very quickly. He used to be pretty one-dimensional. Now he can do a little bit of everything on the lane. It's just, you look at on tour, the amount of guys that go out there and just figure it out in the first time or two, it's in the first year or two, it just doesn't happen. Like even people kind of forget about Simo. Simo is so amazing. He's been on tour for six years now,
Yeah.
which he was young, but it took him 3 years to figure it out. Now, 3 years, he was 19 and he started figuring it out, which, he's one in a million.
He's got
but,
how many titles now?
But look
7,
at,
8?
yeah. But, look at some of these guys, younger guys that are really good now. Their first couple of years weren't anything special. Getting out on tour is just learning a whole new beast. So, just like you said, like for me, I'm learning as I go, as Michael misses a 6'10". Yeah, you just can't come out there and expect to just have all the success in the world because you had success in the youth ends. Where Greg had a little spree in the summer swing 2 years ago. He made a couple shows in a row. He bowled pretty good. He's made a couple cuts here or there, but you just got to try to get by, make a little money, not lose your ass, and learn. And then when you get to that year 4 or 5 and you start to, okay, I kind of get what you need to do out here, that's when those guys start to shine.
So how much is it not even just the tour game, but the tour life, right? I mean, when you're bowling before that, you're bowling weekends, you're going home for the week, you sleep in your own bed, most of the times. But
Right.
you're out on tour, you're out for,
3
a
months.
couple months at a time,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
different, right? You got to learn how to do that. Flying, driving, rental cars, checking into hotels.
It's mentally exhausting. It really is. That's the
100%.
toughest thing about tours, not the bowling. It's the mental exhaustion. It really is. Just
I learned that quick, and just doing the stream, it's like, what the heck?
being
Why am
away
I so
from your
tired?
loved ones.
Yep, all of that stuff.
Being away from your loved ones, trying to get a paycheck every week, bowling against the best in the world, having a bad week and trying to forget about it going into the next week. It's tough. It's real tough out there on your brain. But that's, like I said earlier, that's the most important part of bowling is the brain. So, yeah, I mean, most guys on tour now, we get Airbnbs, you get a group of your friends, people to room with, cut your costs down. You can make food, you can actually cook in the Airbnb, so you're not eating fast food and eating like crap every day. So
Pizza in the pool.
Yeah, pizza in the pool, having pool parties,
Yeah, there you go.
bringing my dogs, let them swim in a pool. I wish. But, yeah, it's not awful. It's not awful because, I don't have kids at home and things like that. I have a girlfriend. I have some friends. And they let me go out there and do what I'm doing right now. But it gets a little harder when you have a family and stuff like that. So for the guys that are married and have kids and stuff, it's so much tougher for them. But this is their job. It's a sacrifice you got to make. It is what it is. Everyone does it when it comes to the professional end of sports and things like that.
And that's what I've learned to respect a lot of all the players I've met is the guys have been doing it for 20, 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. You
Yeah.
sacrifice a lot to do what you love.
You do. You do. Also, they're damn good at what they do. So
And there's that.
the family understands it, and they understand, hey, I make it worth it. You got Chris Barnes, who kids are off to college and stuff now, and he's been at it for 20 years, however long Chris has been at it. But Chris is a Hall of Famer. He's an amazing bowler. And, being away from his family and his wife is tough, no doubt. But they get it. Go do what you love. And we'll see you in a couple months. Bring home that cheddar, babe.
That's great. Just keep bringing those checks.
Yeah.
Right?
And he has. So it's a different ball game when you're younger. The guys that are here now, the Prathers and stuff, they have a wife, but they don't have kids yet and things like that. So girlfriends. It's the time now to solidify what you can do.
So the last 5 frames here with Greg Young and Michael Holloman.
Struggling a little bit. Michael hasn't hit the pocket yet. He's hardly hit the 1-2. Greg just missed a makeable. Michael just missed a makeable.
And Michael's not talking to you either. That's the thing. He's not even looking at you.
He's mad at me. If I just ball rep him real quick, I'd get him there.
It's like, what is Kevin saying about me back there?
Anything that he's going to hear if he watches this later or someone texts him, he already knows. It's all love.
So what would you tell him? He's making a ball change. What do you think he's going to?
I don't know what black ball that he was just throwing earlier. I'm unsure. It might have been the knockout. if it is, that thing hooked way earlier than I would expect. I would tell him to go something that zenith too early, too strong. I would go to something stronger, symmetrical, that's still going to try to pick up like a hero solid. Because, I mean, look how early that thing's hooking. That a little better. He paralleled a little left, further away from the head pin. I'd get him into like a hero solid to a ball that's going to read the mid lanes, but it's still going to be pretty early and slow and stay in that zone. I mean, there's no getting out of that zone. But that one looked pretty good. Looked a little better. It looked like he just moved, since his ball's hooking, he played that early hook. He got a little further away from the head pin. And it just kind of laid there. It's funny seeing these ball reactions. It's just not typical. People used to seeing their ball hook all over the place. And you come out here and your ball does not move the last 15 feet of the lane. It's just going as straight as possible.
Well, we had Tim Mack on 37-8 game 2, and there were shots, you know, he knew with the arrows, you turn around upside down. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
The ball's not going to hook. I hit the my spot, I'm good.
Well, when you're as good as Timmy Mack.
But to your point, though, the ball's not going to hook 15, you know, the last 15 feet. So if you got it in the right spot,
it's going to lay in that too.
Okay. It's going to stay right there.
Yep. Yeah, so your target gets closer and closer to you, especially when they're this tight, because you know you're not looking at your break point down at 42 feet like some patterns you do. Your break point now is 21 feet. So, you know, if you hit where you're looking at pretty close up on the lane, you're not going to see anything crazy.
I remember a regional in Chicago years ago. Brian Valenta's lofting like 40 foot down the lane. I asked him, "What's your target?" He says, "The girl's eyeball in the masking unit." Yeah, today his target would be like the dots, right? I mean, that's the difference in what we're seeing.
Yep, his foot.
You know, a big hooking friction house as to what we're
Brian
seeing today.
Valenta. He's from our area. I got to watch him bowl a little bit. I don't think he bowls much anymore.
No, not too much.
He was good at throwing it in the air, though. He made that sick run at the Badger at the Summer Swing a couple years back where he 7-pinned to lose or something. It was a close match, but
it was him and Bill O'Neill.
Him
right?
and Bill.
Shawnee.
And Bill had snuck him out, but Brian bowled super, super sick. Look how slow Greg is throwing it, and he 4-pinned. He's throwing it 11 miles an hour, like 19 to 16, and he 4-pinned. Throw that anywhere else, it's in the left gutter. It's crazy.
So what goes through your head in that shot? It's like, I threw it slow. I got it to shape a little bit, and I get nothing.
If I'm him, after he hasn't really hit the pocket much, he just made a ball change to that ball because I know he's throwing something different. I'm going to say, hey, all right, I 4-pinned. I'm in the pocket now. I'm really not going to move much there, to be honest with you. Maybe one with my feet, but I'm really going to stay there because when they're this tight and they're this hard, your moves are going to be minimized. Where on a 4-pin on tour or on a house shot, you're going to move 3, 4, 5 boards. I mean, you're barely moving one there. I'm going to throw it in that same spot, see if it just lays there a little more. As Don Barrett's bailing out 190.
Yeah, he's got to have the back 5 for 190, 198.
No surprise there. The guy's good at what he does. Guy's good. Is Don bowling anything? Bowling any good? I think he was about even after 3. Maybe not. He's not bowling. He's just a pacer. He's just a pacer.
He was 601 after 3.
All right, Michael getting up here. That thing hooked immediately. Big break there to get the 2-4 only out of that. Leave that 8-pin. I don't know how I would shoot. I hope I don't leave it. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to jinx myself, but I don't know how I'll shoot it if I leave one of those.
Well, just so you
2,
know,
4,
if
7,
you make
8s.
camera repair, we're going to get Michael back in the seat, so he's going to have equal time to critique your game as well. So be aware.
I want to hear that. That'll be entertaining to me.
If I can get him to talk, I'd be amazed, but, you know, we'll try.
Don Barrett, wrap 10 in the fill for 197, just a bailout game. Had a couple splits in there. Michael picks up the 2-4. Winding down here, most people are done. We're getting down to this pair is going to be the last pair done.
one's in the house.
The last one's done.
Just tells you how tough this pair has been. The pair before this, the players are coming off of, and this one have both been pretty tough because
So what you're saying is I
they're
don't
throwing
want to
2
hit
shots
this
of
pair.
frame. Yeah, you don't want to hit this pair.
Okay. I'll go talk to the tournament director.
37 and 8. You're okay there, I think.
Standings after 4? We don't. Ooh, good shot there on lane 36. 10 back. No doubt. No brainer. He's looking at 240 left, which it's hard to look at max scores whenever they're this hard. Where usually in other events you can say, all right, I can throw the back 6, back 7 for 230, 240. Here is a little bit of a stretch to be like, all right, let's gear up and throw a 6-bagger here. So he's on pace for 210. That's a pretty good start to a game. All right, Michael getting up on this right lane. He struck the last shot. He's actually doubled on this lane, but one of them was Brooklyn, so we won't count that. But he was 10 back the last shot.
All right, here's our game 4 standings. Leader, Simonson. Second, Holloman. Atkinson, Robert Atkinson is still up there in third. 220, 203, 237, 220.
It's a good block.
No back and forth. Billy Vincent, Nolan White, Zach Wademan is in 7th. This is after 4, 8:35. So only 12 players at even or better.
Oh, that's got a
after
hook, Greg.
4.
You can't shape it that much.
Don Barrett was 799. He shot 197, so he's fine. Let's see. So the number.
Is this Kevin speaking? Yeah, it is.
705.
Red Rider.
What's that? Minus 95
Shoo.
after 4 is the number. So you don't expect big jumps. So let's think anybody within 20. So anybody at 685 might have a legit chance. Josh Mitchell, Greg Bumpus. Brett Boho is at 686. He's 19 back. A.J. Rice is 15 out of the number going his last game. Charlie Brown, 18 out of the number. Chad Perry, a dozen out. Mitch Upe, 662. Well, he's going to
not
have to
having a
shoot
good one.
230s probably to make that jump.
Just going
That's
through
something
some
you
of
wanna
these
do.
comments, these people, we haven't really touched up on those. So thank you to everyone shouting out, talking about my music. Thanks for tuning in with Craig here. Watching a little bit of struggle bowling. This isn't the typical live stream you'll see.
No,
Good shot by
not at all.
Michael. But it's fun to watch this stuff. Some people I see saying this is a little rough to watch, but it's also kind of fun to watch because it's not your typical norm that you see.
Well, it gives us something to talk about, watching the games, watching the adjustments, watching the ball changes, the stuff we can share, the knowledge, and hopefully people watch and learn something as well by seeing what's happening here. And this is A squad. B squad is going to start at 12:30, so we'll just shut down, have a quick break, put up a new link for B squad, so don't go too far away. I see it starting right on time because we've, a couple more minutes, we'll be done with this squad. And
Michael
a fresh
shaking his
group
head.
of players, probably 100 guys coming in for this next round. Kevin Williams included in that, so.
I am. I'm excited. I like to throw it slow. We'll see what happens. They're not easy, so I'm just gonna go out here and grind away.
Shout out as always to the sponsors, Motive Bowling, creating the difference. Cubic AMF, High Five Gear, the 7 Leaf, a new sponsor this year, so thanks to all of them.
Is that a local company?
I believe so, yeah. They set up back here a little CBD company.
Oh, okay, cool.
Free samples, that's what I heard.
Thank you to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Sponsors are great. Jason always does a good job of bringing in different sponsors.
Oh, they run
it's
such a good
tough
event.
not just trying to, everybody just crushes bowling sponsors, the people in the industry.
It's
and there's
hard
only
to
so
do.
much they can do. So Jason always goes out and finds a couple outside the industry. So kudos to Jason.
That's what you want. You want to
Yeah.
get people outside the typical beer, beer companies and things like that, bowling companies. You want to bring in other industries into our industry, build up relationships, and grow the sport, with them. We can help them. They can help us. So it's awesome to see, we got 7 Leaf. That's awesome to get a different company in here.
Yeah, so
They
anybody
run
watching,
such a
go,
good
go,
event here.
go to their Facebook pages for those events and just tell them thanks for sponsoring the event. That goes a long way. Trust me, these
It does.
sponsors are watching.
It does.
And they are keeping track, and they
They
want to
did
know.
this for a reason.
Absolutely. So if you go, if a dozen people just went to Seven Leafs Facebook page and told them thank you for sponsoring, they'd be back next year in a heartbeat, guaranteed.
They would,
So
yeah,
please do that.
be more than worth it. Any exposure that they can get out of this, they did. You know, they do this because they say, hey, you know, we're not really into the bowling industry. We don't know much bowlers. Let's dip our feet in there.
Absolutely.
Let's see what the water temperature is like with this. So, yeah, shout out to them for being on board. I mean, the Bradley's such an amazing event. They do such a good job running this, getting different sponsors involved, bringing you out. I mean, it's a fun weekend. It's definitely a fun weekend. If you're a good bowler and you like to go compete and you haven't bowled this, you need to.
Yeah, I think my first one was 7. Let's see, I can tell you by the winners.
Push.
Tommy Jones, 2014 was my first trip to the Bradley.
Math. 7 years been at it.
And then Brandon Novak. Actually, Brandon, so the interesting about Novak is I think he finished second to Tommy Jones in 2014.
Yeah, there was
then
a
he
span
wins
where
in 15 and 16.
There was a span where he made a title match 3-4 years in a row.
That's pretty impressive.
He's okay bowler, I guess. Michael.
So, I mean, you look at some of the past champions, Kim Bollenby, who stopped by and talked to you.
Yep.
Wes Malott, E.J. Tackett, Justin Knowles, Novak twice, Tommy Jones, Tony Lambert a handful of times, Smallwood, McClellan, Jeff Fair, Brian Dennis, Brad Snell, my doubles partner for USBC if we ever bowl this year.
I haven't heard of any of these people.
Brian Wallachek, Chris Collins, Nick Vogelsang, there's a name from before you were born. That guy bowled a ton of action.
Never heard of him.
Ted Hannes, George Pappas. I mean, there's some pretty solid list of
all
players
those
that have won this event.
guys. I would bowl any day of the week with them.
Brian Kretzer, Brian Graham.
Any of them, even if they don't bowl anymore, I would bowl with any of them. That's a solid list of champions. I mean, that's what you want when you run a big event like this. You want to see some of those big names come in and bowl.
And 7 years ago, we were actually only about 100 entries.
Really?
And we're going to be pushing 200 this year. So that's how much.
Oh, they're doing a great job.
The event has grown with Jason's work, and streaming has helped grow that a lot. The stuff we've been able to do to try to market the event and show it to more people across the country.
Definitely.
And this is actually, I've told the story before, and I'll do it real quick before you take off. One of the most rewarding things for me of all the years I've done the streaming is I actually had a grandma, the second year I was here, message me. It's the first time she ever saw her grandson bowl. She was in California, lived in California, and he lived around here. She never saw him bowl before. But got to watch him bowl to Bradley on the stream. So that's
what you do it for.
Yeah, that's
why you do it. That's amazing.
So support the sponsors. Come back and watch again at 12:30.
Yeah, come watch me bowl like poop.
Watch Kevin bowl really well. When he shoots 195, text him and say, great game.
I just realized that was Greg Young, Dan Brutal, flat pattern. They're tough. Yeah. If you're just tuning in and you're thinking, what the heck are we watching? This pair must suck. All these pairs are like this. They're tight and they're tough. And this is the last pair going on. So with that being said, I'm going to go grab my bowling crap. I'm going to hit everything with 12 grit. They don't make 12 grit. I'll find a way. Roll it in the parking lot.
Okay, so where was Greg Young? Was he in the numbers?
After 4, we saw after 3.
Yeah.
We saw after 3, so.
My reading's not good today. I'm skipping past him.
Just based off how the body language he's given off, I don't think he's doing too hot.
He was, minus 113. So he's not going to make it. He's going to have to bowl the Desperado.
Desperado.
So, all right,
Craig,
Kevin,
I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you. Good luck.
Everyone tune in to the next squad, not for me, for everyone else, and for Craig. And we'll see you.
All right. Kevin Williams. Thank you. And we'll see other guests. And now, watch. Okay. So you didn't see it. So Kevin just got up, walked away. And Michael's watching him walk away. And I'm going to tell you right now, Michael's going to cheat. Watch this. It would be so funny if that happens. Top 50 make the next round of this squad and next squad. Oh, that's Brooklyn. Ooh, wow, I didn't even get there. Goodness gracious. That was interesting. So final shots here. Ambient sounds of Executive Strike and Sprayer coming your way. Thank the sponsors. Come back at 12:34. B Squad. Bowlstream TV right here all weekend long. Thanks for watching. Come back for more. Bye for now.
dodgeball. I'm good.
Scott Kemp, you are needed down at the tournament office with your scorecard, please. Scott Kemp to the tournament office.